الحمد لله وكفى وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ولقد خلقنا فوقكم سبع طرائق وما كنا عن الخلق غافلين وأنزلنا من السماء ماء بقدر فأسكناه في الأرض وإنا على ذهاب به لقادرون فأنشأنا لكم به جنات من نخيل وأعناب لكم فيها فواكه كثيرة ومنها تأكلون وشجرة تخرج من طور سيناء تنبت بالدهن وصبغ للآكلين وإن لكم في الأنعام لعبرة نسقيكم مما في بطونها ولكم فيها منافع كثيرة ومنها تأكلون وعليها وعلى الفلك تحملون صدق الله العظيم وبلغنا رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Surah Mu'minun. The first 10 ayat mentioned the promise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala of Firdaus for the people who believe and who have the special high qualities of believers. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, the next set of ayat that we read last night, that you should be sure of our promise, just like you are sure and you can see how we created you. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us the different stages of the creation of human being. And also be sure that you are going to die afterwards, and be sure that you are going to be resurrected on the day of judgment before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving some proofs from outside of the human being. وَلَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا فَوْقَكُمْ سَبْعَ طَرَائِقَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that we created above you 7 tara'iq. Tariq generally means path. Here the meaning is the 7 skies, because they also serve as pathways for angels. So therefore Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is using the word tara'iq, which is the plural of tariq, which means paths, basically the 7 heavens. وَمَا كُنَّا عَنِ الْخَلْقِ غَافِلِينَ. And we were never neglectful of the creation. So it's not that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created you and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgot about you or let you be. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whatever He creates, this is a special quality that is unique to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that when He creates something, He maintains an active connection with them. It's not that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala creates them and then lets them be, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala provides for His creation, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protects His creation, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes care of their creation, and all creation, the ultimate return is to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So these tara'iq, or these skies that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created, there is many benefits in these skies for the human being. It's not that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created you through so many stages and then let you be, that you fend for yourself, you provide for yourself, you feed yourself. No, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also provided everything for you in there. وَأَنزَلْنَا مِنَ السَّمَاءِ مَاءً بِقَدَرٍ فَأَسْكَنَّاهُ فِي الْأَرْضِ. One of the biggest signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is that we sent down water from the sky in due measure. If that water was too much, it would have created destruction for you. If that water was too little, it would not have been enough for you and you would not have been able to take full use of it or use it to your benefit. Biqadar, with a measure. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent down the appropriate measure of water down. فَأَسْكَنَّاهُ فِي الْأَرْضِ. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made that water lodge in the earth. So the water, if it would be that we would get our rain daily, then it would be very hard for us, because daily rains create a hassle for our daily life. And if it were such that we would only get rain for 1 month of the whole year, then we would have to work so hard to store that water and protect it from going bad. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made it such that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent down the water, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made it lodge in the earth. So there's different ways where the water lodges. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created oceans, which are a big reservoir of water that does not go bad. Similarly, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made another reservoir, which are the glaciers and the mountains that have the snow covered mountains, that slowly the water seeps in the forms of rivers and waterways, and that is also such a store that is safe from going bad and stale. And when the water traverses the earth, it also seeps into the earth, but the natural quality of water is that it should have seeped and kept on seeping, but there is a level where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala stops it, and it does not go too deep. It remains within reach of the human beings, that human beings dig the earth and they can find the water that they need through wells. فَأَسْكَنَّاهُ فِي الْأَرْضِ. So we situated the water in the earth. وَإِنَّا عَلَى ذَهَابٍ بِهِ لَقَادِرُونَ. And we were fully powerful. We had that authority that we would have made it go away from you. وَإِنَّا عَلَى ذَهَابٍ. Dhahab means journey, going. So we had full authority that we made the water flowing. We could have made the water flow away from you. We could have made it in such a way that it would have flowed away from you, and that you would have a hard time running after your water. We had that authority, but we did not do it out of mercy and out of providing for you. فَأَنْشَأْنَا لَكُمْ بِهِ جَنَّاتٍ مِّن نَخِيلٍ وَأَعْنَابٍ لَكُمْ. And with that water, we created gardens of dates and date palms and vines for you. فيها لكم فيها فواكه كثيرة. So not only those, but also many fruits. ومنها تأكلون. With that you eat, and of them you eat. وشجرة تخرج من طور سيناء. And that special tree that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions, we produced a tree of olive that comes from the Tur Saina. Tur, the famous Mount Tur, is that Mount Tur on which the Musa alayhi salatu wasalam went to talk to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Saina is that area. So that it is said that the olive tree, some historians have narrated that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that that's where the first olive tree came from, that's where it grew. And of course in today's world as well, that area is that is full with olives. تنبت بالدهن وصبغ للآكلين. It grows with oil, and that oil has many benefits for you. وصبغ للآكلين. And with a dressing for those who eat. So that olive tree and the olive oil, it is used for eating, it is used for your other many needs. You use it for your healing your wounds, you use it for your lights, you use it for massaging your bodies. All of those things, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created such benefits and created such beneficial things for you. وَإِنَّ لَكُمْ فِي الْأَنْعَامِ لَعِبْرَةً. And indeed there is a sure lesson for you in cattle, an'am. نُسْقِيكُم مِّمَّا فِي بُطُونِهَا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala provides for you a drink from their bellies. وَلَكُمْ فِيهَا مَنَافِعُ كَثِيرًا. And not only that, but there is many benefits in them for you. So you use them for your farming needs, you use them for your riding needs, you use their skins, you use their hide, you use their flesh, you use their bones, you use their fat, even you use their refuse. All of those things you use. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that in the cattle that we created for you is a big sign that we created such a thing for you to provide for your needs. So it's not that we created you only and we only know about your creation, but we know fully well how to provide for you. وَمِنْهَا تَأْكُلُونَ. And of course from the cattle you also eat. وَعَلَيْهَا وَعَلَى الْفُلْكِ. And upon them, the cattle, and وَعَلَى الْفُلْكِ, and the boats, تُحْمَلُونَ, they carry you, you are carried. So the cattle is also used for your transportation. And similarly, another sign, the major sign of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala carries your vessels, boats, ships for your needs over the water, through which you, even today's world, most of the trade, transport, big things are transported through ship and waterways, and human beings are also carried through this. So basically tuhmalun is you are carried, you are lifted, or the things of your need are carried and transported over these things. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us an understanding. The total scheme is that Allah is saying that when we promise that we are going to give firdaus to the people who have the qualities of believers, who are perpetual and very careful and mindful of their salah, and they give up the idle and useless things, and who have khushu' in their salah, then this is who we are, who's standing behind this promise. The one who created you and knows fully well about your creation, the one who provided everything for you. That is Allah who is standing behind that promise, and the promise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is absolutely true. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. اللهم اجعلنا من أهل القرآن الذين هم أهلك وخاصتك. اللهم إنا نسألك الهدى والتقى والعفاف والغنى. وصلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه سيدنا مولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. آمين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.